The fucking judges, man. That is really the #1 problem. If all the rules, all these different things, those are all a problem, the judges are the biggest problem.
Come on, Gleison Tebow and Khabib Nurmagomedov.
By far. Like it seems like every UFC, I'm waiting to interview the fighter, I'm in the cage, and they're reading the scorecards, and I just go like, every UFC, it's like one fight at least where I'm like, what? What the fuck did they just say? 30-27. Who? How? What?
Yeah.
Like, a guy's getting their asses kicked, taken down, getting fucked up on the feet, and they're winning rounds 30-27.
Yeah.
10-9, 10-9, 10-9. What? It's full incompetence, man. It's just full incompetence.
Okay, now to Tony. Obviously, you know, like I just said, one of the big stories is Khabib being undefeated. There's a controversial win that Khabib has that a lot of people believe he lost. A lot of people believe he lost the Gleison Tebow fight. Have you seen that fight, and do you think he won it?
Have I seen that fight? I'm the one that's been telling everybody that he lost that fight. You don't think about it. I was 1 for 1 for takedowns, and he was 0 for 25. You guys all forget that I'm a 3-time All-State. I'm a state champ. I'm a 2-time All-American. I'm a national champ. I forgot about wrestling because I wanted to be a black belt in jiu-jitsu. I learned how to pull guard. But when I broke my arm, I had to learn how to do Muay Thai. But before all of that, I loved boxing. I've been hitting the speed bag since I was 16 years old. I hit the bag better than Canelo and a lot of other people, and I hit a hell of a lot harder than all of them. I don't need that gratitude, and I don't need anybody to hold my hand to do anything I need to do. I'm taught, I got good drills, I trust the process, and I enjoy everything that I do. And I get underneath this guy's skin, and that's my best attribute that I can do.
Hey, who asked this question? Who asked this question?
Don't worry about it. They like me better.
Hey, shut up, Tony. Who asked this question? I need to know.
Yeah, it's Keith Shield. I'm with the MMA Takeover.
Okay, like, you watched this fight when I fight Tebow?
Yeah, I seen the fight. It was a great fight. You almost cried.
What do you think? Oh, no. Hey, please, calm down, Tony. Please.
There's nobody calming down. You almost cried like that one time you lost it.
Hey, okay, what do you think? Who wins this fight?
Okay.
I
scored the fight for Gleison Tebow.
You lost that shit. How you give him, like, all judges give me 30-27 unanimous.
Yeah, don't leave it to the judges. That's what we do, and I learned that in the house.
What? What the fuck did they just say? 30-27. Who? How? What?
Yeah.
Like, a guy's getting their asses kicked, taken down, getting fucked up on the feet, and they're winning rounds 30-27.
Yeah.
10-9, 10-9, 10-9. What? It's full incompetence, man. It's just full incompetence.
It was calling for the leg kick, take the leg kick, follow the right hand, and that's exactly what he did. But now Gleison's got him down. Gleison's second. He got his back. Lost his back, but...
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for a decision. All 3 judges score this contest 30-27, 30-27. Declaring the winner by unanimous decision, Khabib the Eagle Nurmagomedov.
Wow! He remains unbeaten in his mixed martial arts career.
Physiologically as well, if you think about how these two guys match up, so Khabib wants to stay very close to you, wants to tie you up, he wants to smother you, he wants to use the fence and the canvas as an anvil and hammer his opponent against it. And when you're as tall and as lanky and as long-reaching as Tony Ferguson, space is your friend. You know, we always talk about a reach advantage. Stephen Struve's got the longest reach in the UFC, but that's not been an advantage when he's faced Roy Nelson and Mark Hunt, who have been considerably smaller. It's all about perspective, and Khabib can nullify that reach advantage by smashing him into that corner and giving him the Mark Kerr treatment. And if he does that, it's going to be very difficult for Tony Ferguson to do anything off of his back. It's much more of a Frankie Edgar Yair Rodriguez type of situation, but obviously on a much higher level when it comes to grappling. I'm leaning at the moment towards Khabib. I feel like, I mean, he's undefeated. Every time he stepped in there, it's worked. His game plan has never been beaten, and he really does the same thing every time. The only time we've seen him slightly vulnerable was that first round against Michael Johnson, where he got caught for a second. And I think that if Tony Ferguson is going to win, it's going to be one of those kind of situations.
Is you taking Khabib?
I sure am.
Smart to bet against. He's 24 over.
Huh?
25 now.
100% I'm taking him. Because you're mentioning, oh, we had a hard time with that. No, we didn't say it like a dick. I'm making you suck an ass.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that.
You said, oh, well, Michael Johnson, he had some trouble in that. Yes, maybe 3 minutes worth. But then, in that same round, the same round, he almost did not get out of, Jimmy. He almost did not. Michael Johnson, who I enjoy his fight.
Yeah.
He almost did not get out. That round, we had success in that beginning.
He's also not Tony Ferguson on the ground, and he's also, I think Ferguson, I would give the striking advantage to.
Khabib, by ground and pound.
You might be right.
Or
Ferguson might not.
Kimura. I hope he gets I don't hope he gets a Kimura, but damn do I love a nice Kimura.
You do.
You got 25-0 Khabib Nurmagomedov. Phenomenal Sambo background. We've seen what he can do in the cage. Awesome wrestling, awesome pressure. Tony Ferguson, 20-3, 20-2, something like that.
22-3 or something.
22-3, yeah. Phenomenal record. Tough 13 champion at 170. Big for 155. A lot rangier than people realize. Tony's got really long arms. I mean, I've seen him in person and his hands rest at about his knees.
Yeah.
He's got phenomenal reach. Khabib's going to do what he does. He's going to take Tony down. You're not going to stop that. And I don't think that Tony's really going to try. Because as we've seen, Tony does phenomenal work from his back. So if there's a finish, it's going to be Tony. Tony's got way more weapons. I mean, Khabib's got the equalizer with his wrestling and his pressure, but Tony has way more weapons with his kicks, his elbows, his bottom game, his submissions. I mean, he's really, to me, he's more of the complete package. I think that when Khabib gets the takedowns, he's going to pay for them. I think that he's going to get elbowed and beat up from, Tony's going to beat him up from the bottom. He's going to get cut up. It's going to get nasty. It's going to boil down to a decision. I don't know which way it's going to go. If it's a finish, it's Tony. If it's a decision, Khabib's takedowns could win him the fight, but Tony might do enough damage and cut him up from the bottom and do all this busy stuff that he does from his guard that could win him the fight from his back. So, I mean, it's really hard to pick. It just depends on how educated the judges are.
Would you have a preference one way or the other? It sounds like you would want Tony to win?
I have no preference. I like Khabib, actually, personally. I've had some good interactions with him. I think he's a funny, quirky guy.
Yeah.
That Russian accent kills me. He's awesome. I don't have a preference. I don't got to pick in that dogfight, but, I'm just excited to watch it as a fan. I'm a fan first. I'm a fighter second.
Are you prepared for anything else if there's, something happens and they want to offer you another opponent? Is that even an option?
Absolutely. Give me McNuggets. I'll chop that bitch in half. He likes chicken sandwiches now, and I give him that volley for McDonald's. I'm surprised that he can use that towards the volley thing. But straight up, man, I don't give a shit who they put in front of me. I'm a champion. I fight like a champion with or without that belt.